Hello, everyone. Hey, Deborah. All right, we are going to work on our spines today. So you are going to need a block and a yoga strap or a belt or a longer towel of some sort to utilize. We'll wait just a few more minutes in case anybody else wants to jump on. Did everyone have a good 4th? Decent. Okay. I think we're about at time. Let's get started on our backs. We're going to recheck a happy baby today, as well as a reclined butterfly position. So lying on your back, grabbing for your feet. However this looks for you. If you can't reach your feet, you can grab your ankles, you can grab your calves, you can even grab your thighs, but getting a sense of what this reclined squat position feels like for you. As you're down here, I suggest playing with the pelvis a bit, tucking and untucking the pelvis, getting a sense for how your pelvis moves in this position, but coming into your version of a happy baby while playing with your pelvis positioning. Once you get a sense for that, we will bring the feet together and drop them down and come into a reclined butterfly position. Once again, getting a sense of where our hips, our low back, our inner thighs are. Get a feel for it. Hang out there for a moment. And then we will grab for our balls. I'm going to use 2 balls for mine, so use them toted. If you don't have a toted set and just have a single lacrosse ball, you can do the same type of thing. But if you have a toted set, we're going to grab the toted set, and the balls are going to come to the right side of the spine. So above the pelvis and below the rib cage are where the balls are going to sit. If you have a single ball, you'll do the same thing. You'll just kind of zigzag your way down. But if you have the toted balls, place them right in that pocket, covering the full surface area of the low back on the right side. So you're going to stay on the right side here. You're in a reclined constructive rest position. You'll start at the spine. You'll shimmy your hips out to roll out to the outside of the body, and then roll back through center. So just a little shimmy left to right, covering the surface area of that right side of your low back. If you only have a single ball here, you can just zigzag your way down your back, your low back as you go, but staying on the right side. This is gonna be more or less your warm-up roll, just getting some sense of the tissue there. Taking just another couple swipes. And then we'll pull the balls out and we'll go to the left side. Same thing, round two. Staying on the left side of that spine, setting the balls up vertically right against the spine, and then rolling out to the left side body and back through center. So covering the whole surface area of that left low back. Once again, if you have a single ball, you're just zigzagging your way down from the base of the ribs to the top of the pelvis, warming up the tissue of the low back. We'll take just a couple more little swipes here. And then we'll pull the balls out. And if you're like me and you have toted balls, you'll go ahead and untote them. If you have single balls, you'll go for a single lacrosse ball, or two separate lacrosse balls. Where they're gonna go, if you palpate for the base of the rib cage and follow that around to the spine, the balls are gonna come on either side of the spine, right at the base of the rib cage. For you ladies, this will be just below your bra strap, so about an inch or two below your bra strap. But base of the rib cage, right up against the spine, one on each side. And then you lay down, drop your butt to the ground, and let the balls sink in. We're gonna hang out with the balls in this area for just a moment. For a lot of people, this spot can be rather tense, a little cranky. So we'll hang out and take a couple deep breaths. What I want you to do is focus on expanding that rib cage three-dimensionally. So as you breathe in, feel the rib cage expand into the balls, increasing the pressure. And as you exhale, let the balls sink away from the low back. So inhale, breathe in, expand the rib cage. Exhale, let the rib cage collapse, let the pressure on the balls release a little bit. Using your breath to kind of gauge the intensity. And we'll just hang out here for about 5 breaths, letting the balls sink in and using that movement of the rib cage to intensify and then de-intensify. Taking about 2 more big breaths. And then we're going to begin that shimmy back and forth. So letting your heels press into the ground, you'll begin to shimmy your hips left to right. I like to keep my butt kind of dragging on the ground to keep the intensity up, but you can always lift the butt away a little bit if you need less intensity. As you shimmy side to side, those balls will scoot away from each other. So you're kind of underlining your rib cage here. And once those balls get too far away from each other, just pick them up, put them back through center, and begin again. If your clothes are getting in your way, you can always feel free to like lift your shirt up, go directly on the skin. You'll get a bit more shear out of that. Nothing wrong with it. Still feels really good. Don't have to worry about the clothes as much. Keeping in mind you're in control of the pressure here, so if you need less pressure, just put more weight into your feet. If you want more pressure, just let your butt sink to the ground a little bit more. And if at any point you have questions, just unmute and yell at me. I'm happy to answer them. We'll go for about 2 more swipes of the ball. So letting those balls careen their way all the way out to the sides. We'll do it about 1 more time. And the next time the balls come out, we're going to take them directly downward. So you're going to be in the same position. You're just right above the edge of the pelvis. So kind of that L4, L5 area. So just right next to the spine, but now you're above the pelvis. And I'll sit up so you guys can kind of see where that is. So you're more or less right about here. I can feel the top of my pelvis, and I've gone around to the back, and the ball's on either side of my spine, right at the lip of the pelvis. And once again, I'm going to let those balls hang out there, and then I'm going to drop my butt to the ground. For me, dropping my butt to the ground here intensifies it. My back still feels fine with it. If it's too much for you or feels uncomfortable, just tuck your tailbone under a little bit, put some weight into your feet, and you can hold yourself in that position. This is some extension of that really low spine. So if it's too much for you, just keep the tailbone tucked under some. Once again, we'll hang out here for a couple breaths, letting the balls sink into the area. Getting a couple deep breaths, and at this point, trying to see if you can feel that breath all the way down to the low back. When you breathe in, you should be able to feel that low back expand behind you just a tiny bit. So as you're taking those inhales, see if you can feel the expansion of the low back with each breath in. It's a small movement, but there should be some movement of the low back with each breath. A little internal massage there. We'll take about 2 more breaths. Now, we're going to do a tiny little scrub up and down here. We're looking just to cover about that L4, L5, S1 area. So you're looking at maybe an inch up, an inch down. It is a little bitty vertical scrub. I like to dig my heels into the ground and use that pressure of the heels just to kind of send my body up, down, towards the back of the room, towards the front of the room, however you want to look at it. But just to create a little scrub right along the edges of the spine here. And as I'm doing this, I can feel that my right side is quite a bit more tense than my left. The ball on that left is sinking into my low back a little more than the ball on my right, which means my right low back is holding a little bit of tension here. And so I'm just gonna focus on that and see if I can let that low back release into the balls, kind of meet the balls halfway. Can I let the tissue release around the top of the ball? We'll take just another moment of this vertical scrub. And then we'll begin our side to side. So similar with the rib cage, how we switched left to right and let the balls underline the rib cage, we're now going to switch left to right and let the balls kind of outline the top edge of the pelvis as you shimmy your hips from the left, from the right, letting the balls sink in as you go. As you go left to right, notice if there is more tension on one side. Similar to what I was feeling right at the base of the spine, I can feel that this right side has a bit more tension hanging out in that low back today. Once the balls get too far away from each other, just set yourself up back through center, come back to that little shimmy left to right, right to left. We'll go for about 2 to 3 more swipes, letting those balls come all the way out to the edge and then bring them back through center. Going for maybe 1 more here.
And then we're going to go for that deep low back muscle once we're all done there. So you're going to pull out the ball on the left side, set it off to the side. The ball on the right is going to come about a third of the way from your spine to your side body. You're still right on the edge of the pelvis, but bringing it essentially just outside of that erector group. And I'll sit up so you guys can see a little better. So for me, I'm coming right about here. I'm just outside of that erector group, letting the ball sink in to my low spine. This is going to be slightly different for everybody. So if you don't find the immediate spot right away, feel free to play with it and move the ball around. Once I get that ball set in, I'm going to let my butt drop to the ground, and then I'm going to take my right knee and I'm just going to open it up, and I'm going to let my pelvis roll with it. Once I'm at that angle where my pelvis is at a little 45-degree angle, the ball is angling in towards my spine. I'm going to just adjust a little bit, and I can feel if I go out just a tiny bit more, I find a really tight spot that has a lot of feeling to it. This is going to be one of those deep low back muscles, and we're just going to hang out and breathe on it for a moment. So leaving that right leg open in a little half butterfly, letting the ball sink into that deep low back muscle. And if you're not feeling it right away, feel free to move the ball up, down, left, or right until you find a spot that's good for you. Everybody is a little bit different, so be sure that you're exploring the area to find the spot that works best for you. Take a couple deep breaths here. Once again, if you're not finding it, just unmute, or if you have questions, just unmute. I can give a little more information if needed. What we're going to do is we're going to come back to that little vertical scrub here. So I'm going to use my left leg, and I'm going to press the heel into the ground and once again create just a little scrub up and down. So I'm just going about an inch up, an inch down, right along those muscles that run right along the spine here. Feels quite good to me. And then I'm going to create a little bit of movement of the pelvis. It's a little bit of a hip hike, but if you think about your rib cage and your pelvis, like an alligator mouth, you're bringing those two closer together, little chomps out of the ball. So the rib cage and the pelvis are coming towards one another. It's crunching in on that right side. And then I'm going to release that activation and try to let the ball sink in a little more. And then I'll do it again. I'll pull my pelvis towards my ribs towards my pelvis, finding an activation of those lateral muscles. And then I'll release and let the ball sink in again. Just go for maybe one or two more of those contract relaxes. And then very carefully, we'll bring that leg back through center. We'll take the ball out and we'll switch over to the other side. So bringing it over to the left side, same thing, round two. So set that ball up just outside that erector group, but above the pelvis, about a third of the way between your spine and your side body. Once you think you have the ball in a relatively good position, you'll open up that left leg to a little half butterfly. My right leg will stay pointed straight up towards the ceiling. And then I will play with it. I'll figure out where the spot is on this side. And I can already tell that this side is not near as intense as the right, but there is a small spot right there that feels pretty good to be in. So remember, you're not stuck where you originally put the ball. You can move it up, down, left, right at any point to find the spot that works for you. Once here, we'll take a couple of those deep breaths, looking for the expansion of the low back as you breathe in. Taking about one more breath. And then we'll come into those little vertical scrubs. So pressing through the right foot, you'll create a little up and down scrubby motion, moving along the spine here, just an inch up, an inch down. Now, if this side is more intense for you, you might want to spend a bit more time doing this. For me, this is not near as intense as the other side. I hold a lot in my right, not so much in my left. So feel free to hang out with those scrubs if those are working really well for you. Otherwise, you can come into those little alligator chomps, bringing the pelvis and the hip towards one another as you kind of chomp around the ball. The left pelvis, the left ribs will move towards one another. I'll hold for a breath and then release that and let the ball sink in a little more. Either sticking with the scrub or coming into the alligator chomps. It's up to you. We'll take about 2 to 3 more breaths here, right around 30 seconds, just to play with whatever you want to play with. And then we'll slowly come off of that, let the ball come out. We're gonna do one more roll, but this one we're gonna take below the lip of the pelvis. Try to stay laying down if you can, because those are pretty deep muscles. But where we're gonna go is we're gonna bring the balls just beneath the lip of the pelvis, kind of at the very top tendinous portion of the glute. So you're right, if you think about where the dimples of people's butts are, those little indentions on either side, you're gonna go right outside of them. And then you'll shimmy your hips left to right, right to left. So working at the very top portion of the pelvis, you should feel bone underneath the ball here. The very thin layer of muscle and tendon as you work left to right. Just shimming the hips one more time, letting those balls careen their way out, and then bringing them back through center. Taking about maybe 2 more swipes, letting the balls come all the way out to the edges and then bringing them back through center. All right, next time the balls come all the way out to the edge, pull them out, set them off to the side. We're gonna bring ourselves back into our happy baby position. So grabbing for the feet, the ankles, the calves, wherever may work for you. And then playing with that pelvis, tucking and untucking the pelvis as you hang out in your position. And notice if you have a bit more range. I can get my pelvis a little closer to the ground now. And then we'll bring ourselves into that reclined butterfly position, letting the knees flop open. And even without working really on the hips, I can feel that my inner thighs, particularly that right inner thigh, is not feeling near as kind of crunchy as it was feeling before. But getting a sense of the 2 positions and how you're moving and how you feel. We're going to take this into a twist. So coming into our upper back twist, you're going to bend through the left leg, straighten the right, kind of a V shape with the legs. That right arm will come overhead, left arm will go out to a T. Pressing down through the left foot, pelvis will twist first, and then the arm will follow. Keeping that left knee pointed straight up towards the ceiling. Inhale as you open it up, and then exhale as you twist again, reaching across the body. I like to reach kind of across and up at an angle, get a little more of my lat involved in the stretch. So finding a twist through the upper back. Inhaling as you open, exhaling as you close. We'll go for about 2 more. And then we'll come back through center and we'll switch sides. Bend through the right leg, straighten the left. Once again, you're in a V with those legs. That left arm's gonna come overhead, right arm out to a T. Keep the right knee pointed up towards the ceiling as you press through the heel, twist the pelvis, arm will follow. Inhale as you open, exhale as you twist. Keep that knee pointed straight up. Feel free to play with the reach of the arm, reaching up, more up at an angle, more straight across the body. Make the reach work for you. We'll go for about 2 more. We'll make our way back through center. Grab for your block, if I can reach mine. The block's gonna come right between the knees here. We're gonna, I like to put it long ways, right between the knees. We're gonna come into a low back twist. So arms will come out to a T, palms face up. Give the block a little squeeze and make sure your inner thighs are nice and turned on. The block is here to keep you honest, so keep those knees nice and stacked. Try to not let it twist or fumble about. Keep the inner thighs engaged. Knees and legs are completely parallel with one another. On your exhale, you'll twist towards the side, keeping the knees aligned. Bring yourself back through center. I said that wrong. Inhale as you twist, exhale as you come back through center. Only go so far that you can keep the arms relatively relaxed. Just starting off really small with the twist. Don't worry, we'll make it bigger in a moment. But warming up through the low back. Maybe 1 more to each side. We'll bring it back through center. And now we're gonna make it a little bigger. So if you wanna change the angle of the block, you can. What we're gonna do is we're gonna straighten through the left leg, keep the block nice and squeezed, come over towards the right, exhale through center, straighten the right leg, reach over towards the left. Exhale through center, switch legs, reach over towards the right. Exhale through center. So working side to side, making those low back muscles pull you back through center as you do so. Go about 1 more each direction. We'll bring the legs back through center. Place the feet on the ground. Keep the block there. We're going to come into just some general bridge lifts. Exhaling as you lift, inhaling as you lower. Just feeling the glutes turn on. We'll go for about 10. And that's right about 10 for me, so I'm gonna let that go. We're gonna do the big twist 1 more time. So if that last one felt challenging, but still capable, stick with it. If you are like, oh, that wasn't so bad, it was pretty easy to do, what you're gonna do is you're gonna straighten the legs, but bring the block between the feet. So now your goal is to keep the feet nice and parallel. As you bring the legs across, exhale through center, inhale as you twist, exhale, pull through center. Keeping the feet aligned. So what you want to avoid is the coming across and the feet separating. Really reach through that top foot to keep the feet aligned as you go side to side. Take about 2 to 3 each direction of whatever version works for you. Inhale as you twist, exhale as you come back through center. Very nice, everybody. Looks good. Maybe 1 more each way. Keeping in mind this is a low back move, so if you're feeling it in your low back, it should feel like muscular work.
Should not be painful though. Once you're all done, we'll bring the block back through center, place the feet on the ground. We'll go for about 10 more bridge lifts, just up and down, getting that glutes to turn on, having both sides work together. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. Very good work. Once you are all done with those 10 bridge lifts, place the block off to the side. We'll come up to a tabletop position. We're going to move into some cat-cows. So we're going to come into our very slow controlled cat-cows here, our segmental cat-cows. Tuck your toes under just to get the stretch on the feet. And because it's good for your feet, might as well do it. Keep those toes tucked. And we're going to start with just the pelvis. So attempting to just tuck and untuck that pelvis. It's a very small movement. It's okay if it feels kind of choppy or ratchety. That's your body learning how to do a thing. We'll go for about one more tuck, untuck, and then we'll bring it all the way up the spine. So tucking the tailbone under and letting that wave of flexion make its way up the spine until you find your way into your cat. And then reversing, untuck the pelvis, one vertebra at a time, make your way up your spine until you find your way into your cow. Working at your pace, trying to go as slowly and segmentally as possible. Feeling each section of your spine move into flexion, and then feeling each section of your spine move into extension. Noticing where your spine moves in chunks and where you're able to feel the individual vertebra moving and working. Taking about one more each direction. We'll take ourselves back through neutral when you're ready, and we're going to bring ourselves into spinal spirals. So essentially a log roll of the rib cage. You'll drop your belly down into your cow, take it over to the right, lift it up towards the ceiling, take it over to the left, and then bring it down towards the ground. So spiraling your spine in a big log roll. Trying to feel that extension out to the side, up to the ceiling, extension over to the other side, then down to the ground. Next time you come to that cow position, your belly drops down to the ground, switch directions, go the opposite way. Maybe going for about one more this direction. And we'll come out of that. We'll take our shin box or our 90-90 position, putting your right leg in front, left leg behind you, setting yourself up nice and tall. All right, so we are going to play with the spine just a bit in this position. Your goal is to focus on, at this point, your upper back and your upper back moving. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a big cross of the arms across the chest, and you're going to let your spine hunch over like you're hunching over a beach ball. And then you'll lean towards the left, so you're hunched and leaning. And then you'll roll it forward, come back through that lean, and then roll it over to a little side bend on the right. Lean forward, roll it forward. Coming over to the left, lean forward, roll it forward.
coming over to the right. So you're working through flexion and side bending here. So one more each direction. And then we'll bring it back through center. So if that felt good, awesome, stick with it. If you're okay with extending, we're going to attempt to take this into some extension going around back. If the extension hurts at all, just skip it. Try to come back through neutral to find that side bend. But essentially what it's going to look like is you're going to bend to the side, extend back and around through the upper back, come over to the other side, roll it forward, come into that side bend so your shoulders stack, lean back, over to the side. So it's a big circle of the upper back.
Is your hip cramping, Deborah? Yeah. Maybe take about one more each direction. Both of your legs are cramping. Look at you both. We'll switch the direction of the leg. So put the other leg in front. We all need to do more shin box, evidently. It's a thing. All right, so coming up to the other side, we're gonna go through the same thing. If you can remember which arm was on top, try to put the other arm on top. I didn't remember, so you guys hang out with it. So this, starting on this side, we're just gonna do just that flexion to neutral to start with. So bringing the arms across, I think it was that way, that's gonna be opposite. I'm gonna fold over that beach ball, and then I'm gonna take it over towards the left and stack my shoulders, and then bring it directly across over to the right. So working without the extension, just in that plane of flexion and side bending as you go around. Christina, try to keep the arms close to the body. You don't have to stick the elbows out. Now, if that feels okay, we can come back through center, kind of let it go. If that feels okay, you can add in the extension. If the extension you know is too much for you, once again, you're just gonna come back through neutral and work through that, just setting up straight side to side. It's up to you which one you do, base it upon how you're feeling today. So lean to the side, take it back and around, finding some extension without pain. Coming back through center. Over to the side, stack the shoulders. Lean back, find the extension. Stack the shoulders again on the other side and come around. Take it both directions, going one way, then going the other way. But feeling that upper back move. Very good. All right, let's take it out of it, finish up. We will come up to a stand. Grab your strap, wherever it may be. All right, we've done this one a lot, so we're just gonna kind of roll with it. Grabbing the strap or band or whatever you have, you're taking it overhead. Give yourself a nice wide base of support. So we're thinking about the same thing we just thought about. We're just gonna lean side to side to begin with. Big side bends left and right. And now if you know that you're okay and don't get dizzy easily, you can take this down and around. But if you have vertigo and know you get dizzy easily, don't take it down and around. Just keep it up at the top, working side to side. Pick what's best for you. Play with it and find your spine moving in all directions. If you run into a spot where you're like, oh yeah, that stretch is really good, hang out in that area, kind of move through it a little bit. Think about one more each way. And then we'll let that go. Set the strap off to the side. We are gonna currently work on our curtsy squat just a little bit. And as you're working on your curtsy squat, what I want you to think about is creating space on the opposite side. So if what leg is this? Left leg is moving, what I'm thinking about is creating as much space as possible along my left side body as I come into my curtsy. So if you've been doing the TCS at home, we've been doing the curtsy lunges. We're gonna take this into as big of a curtsy squat as you can do. I'm gonna move back just to give myself a slightly more steady ground. You're gonna start with this is my right leg, so you can start with your right leg as your base, reaching your left leg across the body, creating space, and then coming back up and recovering all the way back through center. You're going as far down as you can recover. So you should not need your hands to get up. If this is highly uncomfortable for you and there's not much, like you can't go very far without feeling really uncomfortable, you can grab the wall or a chair or something to hold on to give yourself a little more stability. Only go so far in your curtsy as you can recover it. And I would say the goal for that curtsy is to reach the foot to the opposite wall, as our goal is to create as much space as possible. So if I'm on my right leg standing on a clock, I'm working towards what's going to be my 3 o'clock. I'm trying to touch my 3 o'clock with my foot and then recover that. There's nothing wrong with taking a little bit behind you, but we're just thinking about space in the low back. So go for that, either 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock, depending on your positioning. Very good, guys. You'll kind of know when you're done, your leg will be like, nope, I'm good. In which case, that's when you switch sides. Your body will tell you, or your knee will tell you that it doesn't want to do it anymore. In which case, you switch sides and work on recovering from the opposite side. I add the arms because it's fun. It adds some flourish. So feel free to fancify the arms to make it more entertaining for yourself. There you go, Deborah. Very nice. Even added the head nod and everything. All the fancy. Very good, guys. Try to feel even as you do it. Excellent. All right, we're gonna do one more hard one, and we're gonna finish on a hard one today, which we don't usually do, but it's one I just wanna do because it feels good on my hips right now because I'm sitting way more than I should. So it's a plank tango. I don't remember when we did this last. I think we've done it before, I just don't remember when. But you're coming into your plank position, and your leg is gonna reach over top. So essentially,
You want to make sure you have space. Nice, solid plank. Leg reaches over the top, touches down, and then the opposite leg reaches up and over. So you're creating this spiraling tango of the hips, kind of like a backwards tango. The leg reaches back and over. Give it a try. Nice, Christina. There you go, Deborah. Nice, Ed. Don't be afraid of the twist there. Let the twist of the spine occur to the best of your ability. Squeeze the butt a lot. Try to keep your shoulder over your wrists so you're not turning into a down dog. Good job, guys. Looks great. It's rather tiring rather quickly. We'll just go for about 100 more. Sounds good, right? All right, when you're done, you're done. Grab your strap. We have another minute, so we'll do just a big twist here. So grab your strap, strap up a foot. I don't care which one, but strap up a foot. Grab the strap in the opposite hand, bring it across the body. Nice big twist, just because it feels good. Exhale, bring that leg back through center. We'll dance the other leg in. Take the other leg out. Grab the strap with the opposite hand, bring it across the body. Nice big twist going the opposite way. Exhale, bringing it back through center, letting the leg go, letting the strap go. Great job, everybody. Good work. Any questions, feel free to unmute and ask. Otherwise, enjoy your weekend. Y'all did fantastic. I hope your low back feels better after that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Deborah and Ed. Good to see you guys.
You too. Have a good one.
You too. Bye, Christina. Bye, Shush. Have a good one.
Bye.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.